I never imagined my life would split into a clear before and after, but it happened the night I saw my husband's hand hovering over my wine glass. The strangest part wasn't the shock. It was the sense of confirmation. Like my bones already knew something my mind hadn't caught up to yet. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you are listening. Your support means everything. My name is Rachel, and until last year I was a chemical engineer barely scraping by. I'd been working for a small biotech startup that paid in experience instead of money, the kind of place that feeds you free granola bars to distract you from the fact that you can't afford rent. If someone had told me I'd one day be worth $17 million, I would have assumed they were mocking me. And if they'd told me my husband, Ethan, the man who held me through cancer treatments, who cried when I cried, would later try to kill me for that money, I probably still would have married him. Love makes you stupid that way. I met Ethan when I was 25, and working late nights on a polymer stabilization project that was supposed to revolutionize next-gen medical supplies. He was a financial analyst with expensive suits and coy jokes. He made me feel soft and safe in ways I didn't know I needed. We moved in together fast, married in under 3 years, and blended into that lazy comfort you assume will last forever. Then came the cancer. My cancer. Stage 2. Terrifying, but beatable. He was perfect during that time, attentive, gentle, dedicated. He sat beside me at every appointment. He shaved his head when I lost my hair. He whispered that we'd grow old together. When I survived, I felt indebted to him. Deeply. That feeling shaped more decisions than I'd like to admit. Around that time, the half-forgotten polymer compound I had been working on, the one no one in the startup had taken seriously, caught the attention of a major medical supplier. It wasn't sexy. Just a stabilizer that prolonged the shelf life of biodegradable plastics used in medical packaging. But it saved companies money, and that was enough. Everything happened faster than I expected. Meetings, lawyers, papers, negotiations. I held my breath waiting for someone to say, "Sorry, wrong Rachel." But the final installment hit my bank account just before. Winter. $16.8-2 million. Stared at the number for so long I forgot how to blink. Ethan came up behind me and rested his hands on my shoulders. "Baby," he whispered, "you did it." He sounded proud, but there was something else laced in his voice. Something I couldn't name then. I would eventually recognize it as hunger. Things began changing within a week. First, it was harmless. He started browsing luxury home listings, dropping hints about investments, casually suggesting I let him manage our long-term financial strategy. But then the tone shifted. "Do you really want all that money just sitting there?" he asked one night. "I just want to breathe," I told him. He forced a smile. "Careful you don't breathe away opportunities." He tracked my schedule more closely, asked about every call, every lunch, every email, and he started dropping jokes. Dark, uncomfortable ones. "You know, if anything ever happened to you, I'd be a very wealthy widower." I laughed because wives are supposed to laugh at their husbands' jokes. But the laughter tasted wrong. The first real red flag came at a dinner party when a tipsy coworker of his leaned toward me and said, "You're lucky he picked you. A guy like Ethan doesn't marry women who might outshine him." I brushed it off, but the sentence stuck. It scratched at my brain at night. I didn't realize how deep that scratch went until the night he tried to kill me. It was a Thursday. Ordinary. We microwaved ravioli, watched a nature documentary, and talked about nothing in particular. Around 10 he offered to pour wine. He walked into the kitchen, and I heard the fridge open, the cork pop, The familiar clink of glasses when he walked back carrying 2 glasses. Something slipped from the breast pocket of his shirt and hit the floor with a quiet metallic tick. A tiny glass vial. Powdered residue inside. The kind used in labs. The kind only someone familiar with chemicals or married to a chemist would even recognize. He froze. I froze. "Oh, that's nothing," he stammered. "Just powdered supplements." Supplements. Sure. And I'm the Queen of Denmark. I didn't argue. I didn't accuse. I lifted the glass he handed me, swirled it like normal, smiled like normal. But my stomach curdled. When he wasn't looking, I dumped the wine and replaced it with water tinted with a few drops of wine. When I found a second vial empty in the trash, labeled with a faded chemical name I knew well, my last thread of denial snapped. Ethyl Paraton. A banned organophosphate. Highly toxic. Lethal in small doses. Nearly untraceable if dissolved in alcohol. He hadn't been sloppy. He had been researched and deliberate. That night, lying beside him while he snored peacefully, I promised myself I would not die at the hands of someone who valued me less than his future paycheck. But I also didn't plan to simply call the police and hand them everything. I wanted him to feel something prison could never give him. I wanted him to feel me. The next morning, I acted normal. Ridiculously normal. I made eggs. I kissed him goodbye. I didn't confront him. Instead, I started gathering evidence. Screenshots, photos, recordings, every detail of the vials. The life insurance policy he'd increased without telling me. His burner email account with chemistry suppliers. I installed a pinhole camera behind the bookshelf, set to automatically upload to a secure cloud. I scheduled a warning text to myself. I created a duplicate set of financial documents. Then I waited. That Friday, I told him I wanted a quiet night in with wine and takeout. His eyes lit up so quickly I felt sick. He wanted me drunk, wanted me pliable, wanted me dead. I took a fake bath upstairs while he poured the wine. When he wasn't looking, I swapped the glasses. My glass, what he believed to be his poisoned one, was filled with clean wine I had opened earlier. His glass was harmless. We went upstairs with both glasses. "Drink some," he urged softly. "You'll sleep better. Can you hand it to me?" I asked. He smiled, almost giddy, and handed me the glass he fully believed would kill me. I sipped. His face drained. Fear flashed across his eyes like lightning. "Wait. Don't." He grabbed the glass from my hand, voice cracking. He picked up the other glass, the one he thought was mine, and drank from it to prove everything was fine. He had no idea he just poisoned himself with wine-flavored water. I played dumb. "Why are you panicking? What's wrong with the glasses?" He couldn't answer. His mouth opened and closed, but nothing came out. I waited until his breath grew shallow and frantic. Then I pressed a button on my phone and played the audio recording from the pinhole camera. His own voice repeating, "Tell me you didn't drink the wrong one. It was supposed to be painless. Just drink it, Rachel." He looked like a man watching his life turn to ash. He begged. He cried. He tried to twist the truth into a misunderstanding. But I wasn't interested in apologies. I wasn't interested in closure. I wanted something else entirely. I told him I wasn't leaving him. He exhaled in relief. Then I told him I wasn't staying with him either. He'd live in the guest room. He'd touch none of my money. He'd wake up every day wondering if today was the day I'd send the evidence to his boss, his mother, the authorities. His life would shrink. Mine would expand. "You don't get to leave," I told him. "You tried to kill me. You forfeited the right to freedom. He wasn't my husband now. He was my responsibility." My project. My justice. The weeks that followed were almost artful. His credit cards mysteriously failed. His firm received an anonymous tip, a single, chilling line from the recording. His bonus evaporated. His friends drifted. His world shrank until he was just a shell of a man sleeping in a guest room that smelled of fear and insomnia. When his firm finally fired him, he walked into the kitchen looking like a ghost. "I'm ruined," he whispered. "No," I said. "You're accountable." He asked what I wanted. I smiled. Nothing. That's the point. Months passed in quiet agony for him. I rebuilt my life, my hobbies, my independence. He unraveled while trying to cling to whatever scraps of identity he still had. Then, 1 year later, almost to the day, he knocked on the door of my home office. He looked different, calmer, like someone who'd walked through fire and come out. "Change. I'm leaving," he said. I raised an eyebrow. "If you leave, everything goes public." "I know. Are you prepared for that?" "I already told them," he said quietly. "My mother, my therapist, my new employer. I told them the truth." I stared at him, thrown off balance for the first time in a long time. "I'm not afraid of what you can do to me anymore," he said. "I accept what I almost did, and I'm done letting it chain me to this house." He paused in the doorway. "You got your revenge, Rachel, but I'm taking my life back." Then he left, and standing alone in my office, I felt something I didn't expect. Not triumph, not regret, just emptiness. The game was over. I'd won. He was gone. And now I had to figure out what winning actually meant.